up? What up? It's your girl, Rockstar Diva,
The Mrs. Blue House.
and you're locked in for another episode of the Power of Networking podcast with our lovely guest here,
AuJ'ye.
and
Hey, Dr. Delvena, the Queen of Brain Love.
hey, and so tonight is going to be a very, very interesting conversation with these very interesting women. Okay, I'm just gonna get right into it.
Right.
You know, because
As you should.
I've been waiting to get Doc. Like, I gotta put this out here publicly. Like, we've been on the waiting list since December.
What?
It is now. I'm talking about December 2023,
Uh-oh, come on.
and it's September 2024, and we're now in. Look, so
Access
this
granted.
is my birthday gift to me. We got the lovely
Absolutely.
Brain Love Dr. Delvena here with us tonight. It is
Aw,
a blessing.
Thank you, ladies.
And in a very special month,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Suicide Month.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, ladies.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
And so, man, like we just got to get right in because mental is important.
Yes.
Like in anything you doing, any industry, any business, your
Mhm.
mental mind state is so important. And so, Doc, thank you for joining us tonight. Talk to us about like this. I'm just being educated. I ain't even gonna lie that
Mhm.
this is Suicide Prevention Month.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Like
either.
this is something that I learned from you.
Mhm.
And so what does that look like for the month of September? How do we support? What kind of events are going on? What are some of the things that we can do to help create
Bring
awareness for
awareness, yeah.
prevention?
Yeah. Well, and this month is very special because we are focusing on children and teens. We, as in my foundation, the DRT Brain Love Foundation, and the Udonis Haslam Foundation, the UD Foundation. We are coming together with Miami-Dade College, the North Campus in Miami, to put on an event so that we can talk to the adults, the parents, the children, and the teens. And we're talking about Black children and teens because our Black children and teens have been killing themselves or dying by
Mhm.
suicide at rates higher than ever before.
True.
Wow.
The rates are exponential. And people are asking why. Why are our children dying by suicide? Why are they deciding to take themselves out and not try to endure and not try to overcome their challenges? I would say the way that we did
Right.
when we were younger.
Right.
You know, if something happened at school, you got bullied. My parents and my brothers, I was the only girl in the house. I had two older brothers. They would
Mm.
teach me how to box. So,
Right.
hey,
Right.
protect
Right.
yourself.
Deal with
So
it.
back then, that's how we dealt with things. Like you went to the playground, and if there was a little something going on, you did what you do at the playground, and that's it, and it was over with. But these days, kids have access to weapons.
Yeah.
Yes, them
They've been
guns,
using
yeah.
weapons to do things to themselves. They're hanging
Wow.
themselves. They're overdosing on pills and medications. So, you know, it's a different day and age. And we just
Mhm.
want to bring awareness to the community.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, man, Doc, it's interesting. I had recently had a issue or an experience. I won't say issue, but an
Mhm.
experience with my nephew where he had, really said some bad things to his mom and really just kind of like, spazzed out and and asking him like, do you remember what you did or do you know the magnitude of what you
Mm.
did? Because, obviously we've been taught not to disrespect your parents and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
kind of like his response was spooky. He said that he didn't remember anything that he had done.
Mm,
So I just like,
Mm.
what
Hmm.
what could make somebody do that and not remember or know what they did? Like,
There-
what kind of mental state could you be in?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's something called selective memory.
Okay.
So don't
Mm.
bullshit a bullshitter. I'll say that. I mean, I wasn't there
Mhm.
to see it happening, but it's very unusual for a young person to just forget a whole event. Now, it's possible that because he was so angry, maybe he blacked out. But it's
Mm.
highly unlikely that there's some organic or physical issue that caused him not to be able to remember what he did, what he said, how he behaved. And if he really did forget, he needs to see a neurologist like ASAP, like yesterday, because what's going on with your brain? How are you not recalling what you said, what you did to your mother? Allow me to ask this. Is there a man involved in his life? Was a man involved in his rearing, in his child rearing?
Not other than my husband.
Yeah.
My husband kind of that's his uncle. So
Yeah.
you know.
So I'll say this, in general, this is not about your nephew or your sister at all. But I think people have to recognize that children need both their parents.
Yeah.
And when you're dating someone, when you're in love and you're having sex and intercourse and doing all these grown-up things, you want to be sure that the person you're laying with will be able to parent your child. You should have those conversations. Too many of us will have sexual relations, a baby is conceived, and you don't even know this guy's parent, or you don't know this woman's mother. You don't know
Not
how
even
they
the
were
last
raised
name.
or all of those things. And so it's really the perfect storm for a child to be raised in an environment where they're not supported, where they're not getting consistent discipline, where they're not getting consistent love. And for young men, they need fathers. I know a lot of women will say, I can raise a man, I can raise a man. You can raise a person. Raising a man as a woman, I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so. There are so many things we do well, but we're not a man.
Right.
You can't tell him what his testicles feel like.
Right.
You don't know what it feels like for him to wake up with an erection.
Right.
There's just certain things, I just keep it real.
Right.
You don't know about because you're not a man. You
You
haven't
never
walked in those
experienced
shoes.
it.
So to
Yeah.
say I can do this, I think is overreaching. You can raise an individual, you can raise a person. And I've had colleagues tell me, when my mother raised me, I have a very good friend who's a neurologist. He was raised by his single mother. They're Jamaican. Okay, but I'm sure if I continue to communicate with you, there are some gaps or some holes in there that I would say, if you had a daddy, that wouldn't be that way. So none of us are perfect.
Right.
None of us are perfect.
Right.
You do the best that you can, but try not to set yourself up and your children for failure by doing things that create a storm and create challenges for ourselves. Now back to your nephew. He definitely should go and see someone. He should probably have what's called neuropsychological testing because he's claiming that he doesn't remember what happened.
Very interesting. Very
And it sounds like he just snapped.
Is there any signs like before something like that would happen? Is there any signs to look for or anything
Good
that his
question.
mom probably would have, maybe he's about to, or something that is a trigger?
Yeah, well, sometimes, that saying, I go from 0 to 1,000 real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. So sometimes it's real quick.
Real quick.
So just understanding and being able to appreciate our children's temperaments, understanding how they are when they're sad, when they're angry, what sets them off and how to deal with them when they do get into those situations. The signs to look for, sometimes there's not a sign because people just snap. And that is the type of anger that's dangerous. I think you said it was uncomfortable. For someone to just snap and lose it completely, that's dangerous because people snap and kill other people.
Yes,
That's what
that's
I
true.
was just about to say.
They
I've
got
seen
the
that
show
before.
that
too.
say snap. There's a
Yes.
show that's actually
People do
real,
snap,
and they
Yeah.
do snap. Like
Oh, I
that
never
is,
seen that.
yeah,
Where is that
it's
at?
real. No, it's called Snap. Just
On Netflix or
I don't
something?
know. I
I
just
Yeah.
don't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
where,
look
but
that up.
It's called
you're right.
Snap.
It's called Snap.
And you look, they got different stories and show you different scenarios of how that person just
Just
lost
snap,
it.
yeah.
Just lost
Yeah.
it.
Because it happens, I'm sure all of us have been angry
Oh,
to
yeah.
the point where we could just, turn a table over
Mhm.
or break a vase or something like that. But some of the things that we teach our children when we're rearing them is how to deal with your anger. It's called anger management.
Yeah.
It's just not acceptable in society for us to tear things up,
Right.
to have an outburst, to, use a lot of profanity. And so that's a part of what we have to teach our children. Parenting is a hard job.
Yes,
it
it is
And
not
to
easy.
parent on your own and you choose to do that by yourself. Ladies, let your husbands, let your ex-boyfriends, boyfriends, your ex-husband, your ex-whoever. Let them be a part of the baby's life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let them in.
I like that. Yeah,
Let
look,
them
make
in,
sure you're
'cause they
looking at the
need
camera
it.
when you
I
said
said
that.
it. I looked at the
Let 'em
camera.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Let them in.
Let
Because
them in.
let
Yes.
them
Let
in.
them
Let
in.
'em
Because some of
in.
them just try to hate and don't want to let the, just because it
Right.
ain't working
Yeah.
out for you, don't want to
Yes.
let the child see the father
They
and
do
stuff
it to
like
spite
that.
the
Yeah.
father, but it really just hurts the
The
child.
That's true.
Yeah.
In the long run.
I agree to
Man,
that.
Mhm.
that
Let
is.
that man come to
that's
that
deep.
party, girl.
Right.
Which
Let him
one's
come
my
to the
camera?
birthday. Right.
Let him come to the party. He fun.
Right.
Yeah, let him come.
Let
Gotta
him
see his
come.
kids.
That's all.
Y'all
Just
I
wanna
just want to
see
say
his
happy
kids.
birthday to you sometime.
Yeah, y'all could be a big old happy family.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
don't have to have
talk
stress.
now.
No drama, no stress. We only have one life to live.
True.
One life to live. That's it. And all that extra anger, animosity, you don't want to teach that to your children either, because they
No.
watch us, they see
Yes.
us.
They see
Because they
everything.
do say
Yeah.
that a lot of times. They be like, pay attention to people's childhood, like how they've been raised up, and
Yes.
that trauma kind of goes with them, and then
Yes.
it could kind of pop out in the later
It
stages.
will.
And you begin
Will.
to see it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's another thing too. It's just
And
like,
I think the other question is, why did he feel comfortable doing that? Because I
Right.
never,
Hmm.
ever,
Right.
ever thought about snapping off on my mama
Me neither.
or
Me
my
neither.
I
father.
have no
I've
teeth
never
at my
I
face.
mean, look,
never
I like
did
My
that.
teeth, I be
In
not
her
in her
face.
face. She'll be
Listen.
saying
Never
you'll
did
be
that.
picking your teeth up
We'll
off the
pick you up.
floor.
Not in the
Never
face.
did it. And,
Maybe in the
and never
room.
wanted to, because
I
I
won't even-
appreciated
I
that
was
my
scared
mother
of my mom. I
carried
ain't
me.
gonna lie.
Never, ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Super violent. Yeah, you're right. Like I ain't
Never,
never did.
ever. I don't
Never
want the
desired
1, 2,
to
3,
do
4.
it. Our mothers carry us for 9 months,
Mm.
take care of us. They give us nutrition. They love us.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
rearing us up. Why would you want to hurt the woman who brought you into this world, whether it's emotional, verbal,
Mm.
physical, whatever it is? And the other thing is too, the thing that prevented me from doing certain things as a kid was church. God, my belief in a higher power, knowing about the 10 commandments, because I was
them kids
scared.
ain't getting
Yeah.
that God like that.
Thou
like
should
how
not
we
no.
used to get.
disrespect thy
They-
parent.
It
Mm-mm.
changed.
So I was like, I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to hell.
You
When
don't want
you
to be
go to
hot.
church,
Hell hotter
be
than
hot.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn.
I
Right.
don't want to burn
Forever,
baby.
eternally.
I don't
Right.
want to be thirsty in hell. I don't want them insects biting at me
Right.
all day long, all night long.
I want to be at AC.
When you go to church, they tell you all that. They tell you all of that.
Whoa,
She's
man.
like, oh.
Your
That is
thirst
real.
will never be quenched, is what our pastor used to tell us. So we need more church too in the
Yeah.
We
home.
do.
Yeah.
We need more
I think that's
church,
a
more
lot
prayer.
because I definitely had a lot of that growing up, going to
Mhm.
school with my best friend, going to church. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They family
Exactly.
pick me up Sunday and go to church. So
Yeah.
it's definitely
Mhm.
needed, man, and it takes a village
Mhm.
too.
A whole
It
village.
does.
I think because these days people just don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely takes a village of people to come together and make sure that
Oh, yeah.
our youth. And so is that where you be zoning mostly is on the kids, or do you actually work with have adults as patients too?
Yeah, I used to treat kids and teens. Now it's mostly adults. Yeah. Children, you need a special practice for that, because you have to have your office set up in a way, an appointment set up so that you can meet with the parents. If you're taking your child to a mental health professional and they don't meet with you,
That's the problem.
that's a
That's
problem.
a problem.
Yeah. Yep. So when I used to see children, I would spend an hour with the parent and then an hour with the child.
Oh.
And then in future appointments, we would come together and do sessions
Working
together.
it out.
So it's a lot of work. And I didn't train in child and adolescent psychiatry. There are psychiatrists, my colleagues, who do extra training just in child and adolescent psych.
Wow. And so is it like a such thing as being just treated forever, or do people actually heal?
Well, that's
Some
a good
people,
question.
yeah,
I'm wondering
I love that
That's
question.
A good question.
That
I'm
is
like,
a
I
great
was
question.
ready. Look, I waited how many months for this? I had all my questions lined up. I was ready.
In December, when
I
you
was
first
right.
called,
I was
in
ready for
December.
her.
And
Yeah.
that was good.
Some things will never go away, unfortunately. Yeah. So it's it tugs at my heart. I was telling my new friend here,
Yeah.
Off the
Love it.
record.
I love it.
When I was a medical student, God spoke to me during my rotations, and it was in treating people with schizophrenia
Whoa.
that I really felt like, man, they need someone to help them, who'll have the patience with them. Schizophrenia is a serious mental illness. And once you have schizophrenia, it never goes away.
Wow.
And sometimes what happens is what's going on in our society is these synthetic drugs, the synthetic cannabis and marijuana, it's creating circumstances that look like schizophrenia. It's psychosis, and it never goes away, unfortunately. So schizophrenia never goes away. Bipolar never goes away. These are diseases that don't remit.
So the people gonna have to take medicine forever for that?
Yes. I'll say
Wow.
this, there are certain variants of bipolar. There's a lot of different types. Some types are more severe than others. Those severe types, they absolutely need their medication. The schizophrenia, they absolutely need their medication. Now, sometimes they'll try to go without the medication, and if they suffer a lot from hallucinations, like hearing things that don't exist, or they're delusional or paranoid, if they don't take the medication, those things will be it'll be exaggerated. So it'll be a lot more serious for them. It'll be very unsettling for them. So taking medication will help kind of keep them calmer, but there's no cure for any of these things. So the medications we give to someone with schizophrenia, it's just to control their behaviors in response to what they're going through and the hallucinations and experiencing the delusions.
Wow.
So
Didn't know that.
but things like depression, depression can resolve, and it does resolve. Things like anxiety, certain anxieties can resolve, but other types are always there. People who develop social anxiety disorder will likely have social anxiety disorder. They find ways to deal with it and to cope with it. Sometimes they need medication. I have some patients who've been on anxiety medication like Paxil or Zoloft for 30, 40, 50 years.
Oh my God.
Dang.
So do you got to keep increasing the dosage, or they just
No, they're stable on their dose.
forever?
Yeah.
And what about your liver? Because
No, they're okay because these medications, they're not different than like someone taking blood pressure medication for 30, 40 years. Yeah. Or someone who has to take medication to control their sugar. They're no different.
Okay.
So the liver, God is great, man. He created human beings where we can do
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yes.
Yes. He made us in his image. So our liver can manage these things. Now, if you take excessive amounts, that'll be an issue. But if you're following your doctor's orders and doing what they tell you in the prescriptions, you'll be okay.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
very
that's deep.
interesting. So like
Yes.
they always gonna have to deal with that because coming up, I think these conversations are so important
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes, they are.
I've had conversations where they be like, man, I ain't going to see no doctor, man. I ain't
Yes.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Them people ain't finna dope me up on drugs and stuff like that. And it's like, at what point do you really say I gotta go see somebody?
Yeah.
Because we've been told so much that you really don't, you good, man. And hold that stuff in, man. Don't tell nobody your business, and man, you good.
Yeah.
Get
So
over
a
it.
lot of times
In
we
our
be
culture,
walking
it
around
was
with
a
a lot of
cover up.
stuff.
It was
Yeah.
just they wouldn't talk about it. It just wasn't talked about
You
in
can't
our
talk about it.
household or in our
Right.
neighborhood or anything like that.
You
It was
ain't
just
crazy,
You ain't
man.
crazy. That's always
if
right.
you didn't physically look like you were off, then they was like, "Ain't nothing wrong with you,
Ain't
girl.
wrong with
Go
you."
on over there and get you something to eat, or go
Yeah,
get you
just
something to
have
drink.
to
They'll
lay
brush
down.
it off
Yeah.
like it's nothing."
Yeah.
You
But
know?
like in that light, like how do you know when is
Mhm.
that time? Do you just say like, I feel like I want to punch somebody in the face, or because we can get mad,
Yeah.
like we human.
Yeah.
So at what point do you go to talk to somebody?
Yeah. So it's a personal choice. I'm glad that you mentioned being angry because men display depression differently.
Yes.
So men, when they suffer from depression, a lot of times they are angry. They're irritable. It's not so much the sadness and the crying, but it's more anger. It's one of those things where when you know better, you do better. So learning the information, you guys putting on this podcast to talk about this is a difficult subject for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And mental illness gets normalized, especially in our communities,
Yeah.
because we just become numb to the violence. You know, you can walk down the street and hear guns being fired, and it's not a big deal for some people.
Right.
Whereas someone who's in a community where they never heard a gunshot, you know, they're jumping
Right.
for their lives. They feel afraid. But we have just normalized so many things, seeing dead
Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us who have undiagnosed PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. We need to have access to care. So if someone says, I need to go see someone right now, where are you going?
Right.
Right? Because our communities don't have enough community mental health centers. We have New Horizons.
Yes.
That's the only Black community mental health center that we have. You can go to Jackson Free Clinic, to the community mental health center there. There's also Citrus, which is in Hialeah. There's CHI, Community Health. I don't remember what the I stands for. And then also Henderson Health Clinic is another community mental health center. And if you're fortunate to have insurance, whether it's Medicaid or some HMO or PPO, you can call your insurance and ask for a list of providers. You give them your zip code, they give you a list of providers. And nowadays you can just go online and Google. A lot of people have recognized that they have to have a website. They have to have some sort of online presence. But then there's a lot of folks, a lot of doctors and mental health professionals who don't want that online presence, because sometimes patients will try to hold you hostage because you got an online presence. So, you know, we used to get a lot of people coming in for Xanax, Ativan. They want we call these benzos, and when you don't give them what they want, or Adderall, they want stimulants. They'll threaten to go online and write a bad review.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm one of these people where God is first in my life each and every day, all day long. So you want to go do a review? Oh, do a review. Get out my office.
Get out.
Right.
Because I keep it real. You're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna come
reply
in my
back to your
office.
review
Right.
too.
Right.
You just wanted drugs.
Like, you got something to say. I got something to say
That's gonna
too.
be my reply
Ain't
and
no
block
delete-
too.
Ain't no delete.
No,
I
I got something to say. I remember you.
Delete and block.
You cannot delete a Google review.
Oh,
You
yeah.
cannot?
No,
Oh,
you can't.
wow.
And
Wow.
you gotta be careful
Ooh.
how you reply too, because
Yeah.
HIPAA. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
reply in a certain way, so we
Oh,
created
yeah.
a blanket
Oh.
statement response that
Wow.
was very generic. We're so sorry we didn't meet your needs. We have
Mhm.
certain rules in our office. We don't do this. We don't do that. You have to have a diagnosis for this or that. You know. So it was a very generic response, but you can't be held hostage. And I know doctors who, because they don't want a bad review or because they want to keep the patients coming, they give them whatever they want. They prescribe Ambien, Xanax, Ativan. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm
Right.
going to
Either
teach
you
you
need it or
that
you
this is
don't.
not
Right.
healthy for
Right.
you.
Right.
It could, you know, it's okay to use it very temporarily, but there's some people who've been on Xanax for 30, 40 years.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's just very addictive. So you got to talk to people about other ways to deal with their stress, other ways to deal with being in the storm, ways like prayer, meditation, getting outside. We live in a place that is one of the top 10 vacation spots
That's
in
true.
the
Yes.
entire
Yes.
world.
That's
Go
true.
find a
Hello.
In
spot.
the entire
Found a
world.
spot.
Go
Do you know how
find a
Get a
Facts.
spot
spot.
at the beach. Go on.
Facts.
Do you know how much stuff we have access to in
It's so
Florida?
Right.
We have
That's
the best
true.
beaches here.
Hello.
The
Everybody want to
Caribbean.
be here.
The
Everybody.
Caribbean is less than an hour away.
Yes.
You can get on a cruise, you know, for $100 and go somewhere and change your scenery and hang out on the
Right.
beach and in the
Right.
sun.
For
Right.
real.
Getting sun. We live in one of the vacation capitals of the world.
Mhm.
So, you know, having some gratitude and having grace and just being thankful for what we have and being able to love one another more, not getting caught up and holding grudges and being angry every day. Sometimes I see my own sisters, you know, other Black women out in public, and they don't say hello. They don't
Oh,
smile.
yeah.
There's no
No.
this one right
Me
here. As soon
mugging.
as she walked in, she was like, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah. What's your name? Oh, girl, something blah blah." So we
Right.
had a
Yeah, she's
very
sweet like that.
full-fledged conversation
The
that was
power
full
of
of
networking.
positive energy.
Right?
Yes.
And it wasn't
The
even
power
about
of
networking.
networking.
It was just
Well,
about
just
being
connecting.
just
connecting,
sharing
meeting
energy.
New, yeah,
Yeah.
sharing,
Just
sharing
energy.
You ain't gotta be looking all mean and mad.
Stop
Yeah.
being
Yes.
mean and mad.
Right.
But I get it. Some people have baggage and they haven't learned how to deal with the
A
baggage. Yeah, but we just have to forgive these indiscretions from our past. We have to forgive people who have wronged us and move on with our lives.
And how, and when you say move on, how does move on look like? What does that look like?
Okay,
When you
especially
say-
in a mental.
When you say move
When you
on,
say
because
move
I done
on.
encountered some family members
right,
Yeah.
when
that
is the
you
win?
know
Yeah.
it
When
get
do you say
real,
when?
you
When,
know,
right.
It's
when-
you just say to yourself,
So how
I
do
see
you
you
do
for who
that?
you are.
Wow.
I see you for who you are. I'm going to treat you accordingly. And now you know who they are, so you shouldn't keep making the same mistake. But
Wow.
some people keep making the same mistake with the same people.
Thinking
And
they
that's
wanna
on
be-
you.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to change.
You never
Once you
lied.
show me who you are,
You
I
never lied.
You
believe
got
you.
to.
The first time.
Once you show me who you are, I believe you. And if
That's
it
a
happened
hurting.
the one
That's
time,
a
that's
hurting. But that's a hurting pill. You know why I
Mhm.
say that's a hurting pill? Because someone that is so near and dear to you that actually raised you,
Yeah.
and you have to, as you get at a certain age, you have to kind of like turn away and,
You do.
and look another way.
You sure do.
That's a hurting situation.
Mhm.
And then you have kids growing up because that's still an extension of your
Yeah.
family. So
It is.
how do you, okay, if you're not going to deal with them, how do you handle the family aspect of it? What about the
Yeah.
family? Do you tell the family to cut off?
Mhm.
Or do you say, well, I done cut off. Y'all need to cut off
Y'all
too.
deal with
Or
it.
do
Well,
y'all deal with
mm-mm.
her and
You allow
know,
people to have their own experience.
That's beautiful.
And that's
And
just how
mature.
it goes in life. You allow other people to have their own experience. And oftentimes with
Okay.
someone like the person you're describing, the same thing will happen because that is the same person all day long, every day.
That's
and so
true.
eventually, let's say an
Mm.
example, if we're talking about our kids with our parent or our kids with an uncle or an aunt.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're like, why you treat so-and-so so bad? Da, da, da. They're young, they're immature,
you'll see.
they don't know yet. So you just, it's just what I do to deal with the situation. And you don't have to tell them specific examples.
I don't.
They gonna learn on their
I'm
own.
glad. I'm doing
Yep.
something
You're
right.
doing
You
so
are.
good.
I'm doing something
You
right
are.
Very
because
mature.
I'm definitely open-minded, and I always tell my kids, look, go and check in.
Mhm.
Go and check in because they are the eldest in
Mhm.
our family. So you tend to,
Mhm.
the eldest, they know, but like you say, they're never going to change because they're stuck
No.
in their ways.
Yeah.
So when they're stuck in their ways, you're never going to get changed out of them. You just got to know how to deal with them. So I kept going around thinking I was going to be able to deal with it. But at
Mhm.
some point, I just had to
It's
really
too much.
let
is.
it go just for
Yeah.
peace.
Of
You really
course,
do.
yeah.
Like
That's
for
very
For your
mature.
own
peace.
sanity.
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
For myself.
And
That's
I have
good.
encouraged patients, several times to spend less time with a family member who makes you unsettled.
Mhm.
You got to protect your own
Protect your
sanity.
peace.
You got to protect your
Yeah.
peace. You got to protect your sanity. I talk about a circle. The people who reciprocate what we do, who care about us, who love us unconditionally, they should be in the inside of our circle. These other fools, you got to push them to the outside of the circle and just
Wow.
deal with them in a limited capacity.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
sometimes, they may deal with your child and it'll be a whole different situation.
It
That's true,
is.
too.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
they get a
It
different,
is.
what a name. You're
It
right.
is, especially, but what I don't get, you raised me, and then when I went back to work with the baby, she raised him, but she treat him completely like he can get the pocketbook.
She a different
Mhm.
person.
He
Mhm.
can get the
Yeah, my mom
pocketbook.
like
If
that
he
too.
come to
yeah,
her
soft.
and
They
say,
get soft.
I need
Mhm.
X, Y, and Z, she's gonna give him the bag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
They get
Yeah.
soft in their old age. Now that's the truth. That's
But with
across the
me-
board. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
like
'Cause
I
you
would
were
never
mama.
get the bag.
You were-
all.
But I'm
first.
not going either to ask anyway.
No,
If
but
anything, I'm
still.
going to ask, how can I help you? What do you
Right.
need? That's
Mhm.
me. I'm
Yeah.
not going in asking, can you do for me? Or you my
Mhm.
elder. I should be asking you what you need from me.
Yeah.
Well, how can I help you? But when
And
they
that
get
says,
set in
that
their
says
ways,
a lot about your character.
Yeah.
So you continue to do that. Quiet is kept. They know what they've done.
Right. I was
But-
gonna say that's the good part.
Yeah, they know what they've done. And they haven't learned how to say, I'm sorry.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because they've
never.
gone through their stuff too.
Ooh,
They've gone
never.
through their own situations. And that's why they are who they are. The
That's
true.
manifestation is real.
Mm.
And
Wow.
so what they're trying to do is kind of reinvent themselves for the next generation.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is what I did wrong with my daughter. I'm not going to do this with my grandchildren. I'll be a different person. And so that's kind of their way of seeking forgiveness. But I want all of y'all to know when you don't forgive, you are not forgiven. It says it in the Bible.
Yes, that is so true.
It's straight up in the Bible. If you
That's
don't
true.
forgive, you will not be forgiven. So you got to forgive and forgive with all your heart.
I do.
Even when
So
they
maybe-
put you through all that kind
That's
of
what I'm saying.
pain.
How do you do
Yeah.
that? What's a practical way of knowing that you forget? Because you know how people say forgive but don't forget, right?
Yeah.
I forgive but I don't forget.
Right.
Okay, so how does a person know if they really forgave somebody else?
Mhm.
Because sometimes you'll think that you forgave somebody, right?
Mhm.
You see 'em.
Come on now.
And then somebody call their name and you roll your eyes or you get a feeling. I feel like if you do something to me and somebody says your name, if I see a picture, if anything reminds me of you and I get angry, I haven't forgiven you.
Yeah.
If I react. But some people be like, they'll do all of that and be like, oh, I forgave them, but you really did.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I wonder, what does forgiveness really look like? What is it for real? Like a practical definition of forgiveness.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, forgiveness looks like peace.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is tranquility. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is knowing that, okay, you did me wrong. However, I'm over it. I'm no longer allowing it to rob me of my sleep,
Okay.
to rob me of my peace. Because the thing we have to remind ourselves is it's not going to undo anything.
Right.
It's not going to
It's
change
not.
anything. So
It's
really,
not.
you only have the choice to forgive. If you want to have peace and tranquility.
Because they're going with their life.
They
Oh yeah, they ain't worried
They
about
have-
you. They ain't thinking
They having
about
a
you.
ball,
They
living
sure
it up.
They
and you
done went
crying.
on to
Yeah.
the next.
To the next.
Mhm.
And we as ladies,
Yes.
I don't want to
Especially
stereotype.
women. Yeah,
Especially.
I don't
especially
want
the
to
women.
stereotype, but we have had to forgive men in our lives
Mhm.
over and over and over because usually, I'm not going to
Mhm.
say women don't cheat on men, but usually it's a scenario of a woman who's faithful in her
Mhm.
relationship
Yep.
and he's out there doing what
Doing his
he's doing.
thing.
And we learn a way to
Nasty
forgive it
work.
and keep taking him back,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So we just have to apply
Yeah.
that
That
forgiveness to other
same way.
situations.
Hold on to it right there.
Yeah.
Right. You done
Yes.
forgave him
You
100
forgave-
times.
Do it one more
Right.
time.
You can do it one more time.
And then let them go.
You
And
can forgive
still-
mama.
and still
You can
cooking his
forgive
food.
grandma.
Right.
You can forgive
And-
auntie.
and waiting on them.
Still
Right,
cooking
yeah.
his
So that's the
food,
fact.
flipping it up in the bedroom.
Right.
Still, you know.
Doing all that.
So we just have to apply it to other things. That's all.
Yeah.
And you know what helps me with forgiveness is prayer.
Yeah.
Is prayer.
love
It
that.
changes
Prayer.
things.
Man, you
It
definitely gotta have God doing what you
changes
doing,
things.
Doc. Like,
Right.
like
Mhm.
somebody ever like, I know the patient confidentiality could only go so far, but has anybody like told you like they want to hurt themselves or somebody else like in the middle of
Yeah.
a session? Like, how
Mhm.
would you handle that? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta
Did you have to
immediately
call
call 911
911?
or
You gotta
like,
break it
Like
right,
what
right?
you had to do.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we have Baker acted
Oh.
folks before.
Wow.
What's Baker at? That
Um,
mean they gotta tie him up with their hands or
No, the police come, take you to the
It's when
hospital,
you're
the
a
mental
threat, a danger to
hospital.
Yeah.
yourself or something.
Oh, but
Yeah.
what's that called? Straight
That's
on the
the
straight
straight
jacket.
jacket.
Oh, that means
And that we don't use that anymore in psych facilities. It's actually kind of considered.
I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Bruce, if you ask me.
But you know, that's what we see though in the movies.
We do.
That's what we know.
That's why I'm like,
about
what's
the
that? What's
psychiatrist.
that? What's this called? Right. Because I didn't even know what Baker Act was. Like, I'm about to
Yeah.
learn what is Baker Act. Like, she's
So
telling
it's a
us.
Florida statute, and it's a way to get someone to a hospital
Yeah.
who needs an evaluation, basically. So
Yeah.
it forces the person to go. If they don't understand they need it, if they're refusing to go, if they are psychotic or what we call manic, or they're eminently dangerous to themselves or other people.
Right.
So it's a way to get them to
Get
undergo an
checked out.
evaluation.
They need to go
Yeah.
get
No
checked.
trouble. Go get
Because I was
checked.
saying that because people be
ASAP.
saying I'm not crazy. So it's like,
No.
that Baker Act makes it be like, you gotta go get checked.
Yeah.
That's
Because
a
I thought
must.
they could
So
just be
They
keep
don't
saying
have
they
a
don't
choice
need it.
Yeah.
at
but
that
then,
point.
oh,
They
God.
don't
Yeah.
have a choice at
Yeah,
that point. It's
but,
a must.
Unfortunately, just like with everything else
They
in
can refuse
America, no.
Nah, they can't refuse.
No,
They
they
can't refuse
can't.
the
But
Baker Act.
there are discrepancies in our community with Baker Act. So a lot of white folks get Baker Acted when they're doing things, but black folks get taken to jail.
Arrested,
They get
yeah.
arrested.
Oh.
So if we could use Baker
Mm.
Acts more for our people to get them to the help that they need, as opposed to arresting and taking them to
Right.
jail. So it doesn't
Wow.
always work the way it's supposed to work.
That's messed up.
So
It's very messed
that
up.
means instead of
Yep.
the person, their loved one, instead of you calling 911, call for help.
Yeah, you can call
The
You
two.
gotta be
hospital,
educated with what
288.
those numbers.
288.
You can use
Okay, so
288.
288 is
Now,
the number.
there was
They
a
probably
young
be
man
panicking and call
recently
911.
whose mother called 911. This
Yeah.
was it Miami Gardens or
Oh,
Overtown?
yes.
They
They
killed him.
killed him. Yes.
They killed him.
That's what I was gonna say. Calling
Yes.
911
So-
is not always the
Yes,
best.
So they
yes.
calling
For
names.
us.
If they're not
Yeah.
taking
Oh
us to
my
jail, they're
God.
killing us.
They
And it
killing
has
us.
happened a lot
Wow.
to black men and black
Oh, that
women.
mom
The
must
police
feel
show up,
bad.
I'd
or
rather
the
call-
lady in Chicago, in Illinois,
That just
outside
got
of Chicago,
killed.
Yeah.
who was having a mental break,
Yeah.
called the police to come help
Help
her.
her.
She's boiling water on
Water.
the stove, and when she rebukes the white police
He
officer,
shot her.
That
He
was the
shoots her.
enemy.
Yeah.
That was a demon for
Yeah.
real. Like
Yeah.
how
He
she
killed
looked
her.
at him and
Yeah,
said,
he-
"I
oh, he
rebuke
did.
you,"
He did.
and the man killed
He
her.
shot
Yeah.
her to kill her. Like he meant to
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
And
did.
the enemy
Wow.
is hiding in all sorts of shapes, forms. I believe that some of these officers of the majority, they are on a quest to kill us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
It's
I
the-
believe that
it's the
too.
only
I believe that.
explanation
I
for why this
definitely-
happens.
Yeah, they're
Because they shoot first and they
Yeah.
shoot to kill. You don't
Okay.
have to shoot
This
to kill.
lady,
Proper
oh my
policing
God.
is conducted a different way. Especially the lady had no weapon.
no
And
weapon.
she was home.
Didn't have a weapon.
in her own crib. She in
Oh.
her kitchen.
And remember they told her, "We not
Jesus.
gonna hurt you.
Right.
You called us."
Yep.
But let me ask you
And
something.
told her to turn off the boiling water. And when she went
Get
to
into
do
it,
it,
Andre.
Yeah, let me get
He
it.
shot her.
Let me
Yeah.
shift.
Get
I got a
into it.
question.
sad.
No, but for real, here's my question. So you know we talk about PTSD, right?
yeah.
This is what I feel like. Those videos where you get to watch people get killed and those, I don't like to watch those. I did watch Ahmaud Arbery and it messed with me. But
Mm.
do you think that black people or people, but
Mhm.
mostly us,
Mhm.
do you think that we could get PTSD from that, or the fact that we're just so desensitized
Look
to
at
it?
you, Miss Educated.
Oh,
I didn't look like that.
That was that was a good one.
You saw that?
That
You
was
saw
good
that?
because
Yes.
you
Yeah.
do
I'll
with
give that
social
to you.
media.
Thank you.
The answer to that is
Yeah.
yes. It's called vicarious PTSD.
Okay.
Oh.
A lot of
Oh.
people developed PTSD when the Twin Towers came down. When
Mm.
9/11 happened, watching that on TV, hearing the
Mhm.
people scream
Oh yeah.
as
it's a
they
lot.
jumped
Mm.
from those
Oh, my
towers to their
God.
death. The people on the planes, I can't watch it.
Yeah.
So and I think they stopped showing it as much as they used to. Every year, 9/11, they would
They show it.
You
footage.
know
Yeah.
what?
They
have
didn't
not
show.
been doing
Yeah.
that.
You're
They haven't
right.
been
It's
showing
very
it.
It's just a
disturbing.
picture, yeah.
It's
with
just
very
a picture, but they don't show
disturbing.
the whole.
And I
Uh-uh.
remember one time, one of my
Mm.
admins in my office posted a video for 9/11 and posted a scene from someone jumping. And,
Oh my God.
and the comments on the video, and I said, if you don't take that down,
Yes.
that's not a good idea.
Right.
So that was some years
That's
ago.
a trigger.
It
that's-
is major.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
That was some
trigger
years
for some
ago.
people.
Because
Yeah.
it's just, it's not like watching Platoon,
Mhm.
watching a war
Mhm.
or we were actually attacked
That
on
was
our
real,
soil, and a
right.
lot of people have
Mhm.
family members who perished,
Yeah.
and it was just devastating. A lot of us remember where we were when it
I
happened.
do. I
It
can
was my
tell you
birthday.
exactly where I was at
It
when
was
that
my
happened.
birthday and I was
Yeah.
at school.
Or
like,
the
yeah.
George Floyd situation.
Yeah,
Oh, my
watching that.
God.
Listen, yeah. The George Floyd situation,
that was
that
sad.
was enough to provoke vicarious PTSD in some people.
Mhm.
Like just unbelievable traumas that we as a people have had to deal with for so many years. The trauma of slavery.
Don't.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
a real trauma.
Yeah.
That is real trauma. And we
Mhm.
pass on trauma
We do.
to our babies, to our fetuses. We pass that on. There's something called generational trauma. And there's research that
Yeah,
shows that
generational
DNA, there's changes in the DNA. We don't know exactly what the specific changes are, but trauma causes these changes in the DNA. So
Mm.
1619, civil rights, blood on the trees, on the leaves, the
Mhm.
hangings, the lynchings, all of these things, watching these things. And this is why the Florida governor has made a case that we need to take this out of the
Girl.
schools.
Right.
No, we don't.
We
No,
don't.
They need to know the
They
history.
need them kids need to know.
Yeah.
that
They
too.
do.
They don't.
They do need to
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
And they don't
Because
appreciate.
if they don't know, who's going to tell
That's
them?
true.
If they
But-
take it out, who's going to tell them? Because some of the parents really don't know
They don't know
from that time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
fortunately, I'm a great grandmother's child. So my great grandmother raised me. She was
Really?
born in 1914. She was a slave.
Oh.
Okay, this lady didn't have but a 3rd grade education.
Mm.
Let me tell you, she knew how to write. She knew how to count her money, and she knew how to do math, but she taught herself
Mhm.
everything. So this lady is who raised me from growing up. So I used to hear the stories of her and her twin sister having to go to the field to pick cotton.
Where were they born? Here in Florida? or-
Camilla, Georgia.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
she said they used to have to pick cotton,
Mm.
and that they couldn't go to school. And her twin sister passed away like at 19 years old for some type of disease that back in those days they didn't have a cure of, something like hepatitis or something like that,
Mhm.
that they couldn't cure. So she lost her sister at a very young age.
Mm.
But from Georgia, some way she ended up here over town is where she ended up at. And when she came to Overtown, I was born like a little bit in the 70s, 77. I was born, and then she moved from Overtown to Liberty City with me and then raised me from there. So I have this old spirit. Everybody say, okay, it's not like an
That's
old
hilarious.
great,
Great,
but I
great.
can't help it.
I'm like
Because
Grandma
my
Nick.
great grandma
Wow.
is the one that
Grandma
raised
Nick.
That's
me.
awesome.
I can't help it but just to hear her stories. And
Yeah.
I admired her so much. And she didn't pass away until she was 90 years old.
Wow.
And when I tell you she remembered everything,
what
she
year did
was
she
not
pass away?
dang, now you're gonna make me go look at the house.
So
Well, I was just
14,
curious
to
90
see.
minus 1914.
Yeah.
She's been deceased
No,
now.
Probably in the eight. You
She
think
would
the
have
80s
been
or
like
something?
she would have been like what 110 years old now, because she was born May 2nd, 1914.
She was born in
Born-
1914. Okay.
You should write a book.
Okay. Yeah.
Like what
So
the
we're
stories
talking
she told you.
2004, I
That's
would
lit.
think.
I
then.
remember
Like on some Alex Haley stuff. Like write a
everything
book about
she
everything
told
she
me.
told you. That's lit.
I mean everything. Like and she also told me, you do unto others as you want them to do unto
The
you.
golden rule, baby.
So if I leave here
Yep.
today or tomorrow, I remember, exactly
Yes.
what my great grandma had shared with me. Those were
Yes.
her stories, and certain things would never leave from me. You know,
Yeah.
like it's,
Yeah, that's
Reciprocity
good.
is king.
yeah.
Reciprocity is king.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a nice quote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Reciprocity is key.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Dr.
Then you gotta do
Doing
your
unto
voice like that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Doing unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah.
That's just,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's powerful within itself just by saying
It
that.
is.
That's
Now,
power.
there's like, I'm sorry. I just had everything lined up for you, Coach. We gotta talk about the shroom. Let's
what?
talk about the shroom.
Okay.
Mushroom.
Who got mushrooms?
Oh.
No, the mushroom things. Listen,
Oh.
man, dog.
When you said, I'm like, when you. Oh.
This
I'm thinking she write prescription for
listen.
rooms of script now.
They like the people is doing the mushrooms and
They bad.
is bringing up stuff.
The psychedelics and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's doing
What is
what?
that? It's bringing like it's like you go through a roller coaster
Yeah,
of
they-
trauma,
Mm-hmm.
but the mushrooms bring everything out.
Yeah. Disinhibits people.
I was scared to do it, but I've been like approached to like, hey, I'm like, no, I don't know if I want to just be falling out, crying in front of,
I don't feel like
you know,
crying
I think
today,
you gotta
like,
know, like, I don't know what's about to come out. I'm scared, but
Might
what
pop
is that?
somebody.
like, is that a
Oh,
such
no,
thing?
right.
Like, you could
Yeah.
just have
So it-
stuff buried in your brain that
Yeah, because we
Come-
suppress a
we
lot,
do.
but once you become disinhibited, I'll say people who get very intoxicated,
Mhm.
right? And so sometimes, girls are like, oh, John got it. No, it's like this dick. They pretend like they don't know what they did. They're disinhibited. They pretend like, but really they
pretend.
know what
They
they
remember.
did, right?
Mm.
So
Still got it dripping off their mouth. Talking about I ain't doing. Yes, you did.
Yes,
you did.
Oh, Lord.
So why did I go there?
You did. You brought it down.
Well,
And
you
since
went
we
there,
there,
Doc.
It was just
You
an
definitely
example.
that was a hell of an example. So
Yeah,
we
just,
gonna
Man,
right
Lord.
now.
just a little example. But yeah, so the psychedelics, it allows people to become disinhibited.
Mhm.
Sometimes they'll say they float outside of their body. It's intense relaxation. There's I talk to people. I've never done I can't do shrooms, I can't do mushroom, can't do any of that because I'm in the Army Reserve. Can't do any cannabis, none of that stuff. But I have spoken to people who go to South America. They go on these trips, they go to Jamaica on these trips, and they have these guided tours where they include those type of alternative interventions. And when we were talking about medication, I wanted to mention that there are all sorts of different ways to deal with stress and anxiety and depression other than medication and psychotherapy. There's a lot of other stuff. Ketamine infusions are, that's considered psychedelic. You can go and get ketamine infusions to help you deal with your PTSD and your depression and your anxiety.
How do they do that? Through an IV?
Yeah.
What is ketamine? That's a herb?
No.
I've heard of ketamine before.
Me too.
Yes.
Right.
So it's another way that folks become disinhibited.
Okay.
You can do it over an IV or you can inhale it. They have the inhaled ketamine as well. So there's a ketamine clinic that I support as their medical director in Pompano Beach. It's called the Ketamine Clinic of South Florida. So they have a location in Pompano and also one in Hollandale.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to deal with the challenges that we have.
Happy and floating or like?
Well, sometimes it's not. The first induction is not happiness. It's it's stressful for some people because it can be a little uncomfortable, and so they have therapists who help guide you through and help you process.
So you got to have somebody. You can't
Yeah,
do it by
I
yourself.
thought it was gonna be something fun because I was gonna say, Diva, we could do this for your birthday, right? Diva, let's go do that. Let's go get that ketamine.
You don't want that experience.
I don't want. Never mind. I'm scared.
Yeah, you don't want that
I'm scared
experience.
too. Never mind. Scratch that. We'll keep
Yeah,
playing it. Scratch.
Well, there's something called what is it called? The floating aquarium, or what is it called?
Where they just lay back. And
you're in water and you're floating.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I've heard people talk about that. That's in Fort Lauderdale on
Oh.
A1A. You can check that
Wow.
out.
Okay, the floating.
I'm scared of water, but I think you'll be fine, Diva.
The float lab, the
Lord.
I'll
floating
take you to
lab,
the
floating
ketamine.
lab,
I'll take you to
float therapy.
I'd
that's
rather
it.
do the
Yeah,
ketamine.
float
I can't
therapy.
be
Do I
floating
need to
in
know
water.
how to swim?
See?
No,
Oh, 'cause I
you
can't
don't.
Right,
swim.
that was
And
gonna
I
be my
can't
next
float.
question because
And
I love water.
I can't float
so
either.
It's inside.
I'd be
It's a
nervous.
tank. They teach you how to,
okay.
and I believe there's salt in the water, so you float easily.
Oh no.
You're
Oh.
buoyant.
I'll be the only person to sink.
Me too.
I'm really not.
Because
I'll be on the bottom of the thing like, what? Well, y'all ain't tell me. I can't swim.
Right.
It won't work. Ketamine. Okay, we're still on ketamine. She got to give us something better to do for your birthday, Diva.
Nah, yeah, we
Other than
definitely.
the
I ain't doing ketamine. I ain't
I'm
doing
not floating in
mushrooms.
no salt water.
I think I'm gonna do the trip. You can set
Yeah,
me
the
up with the
trip.
trip. The,
You gonna
what
go
you say you
on
can get the ferry. We an hour. We in the prime location. We can go to an island somewhere. Give me.
And
Yeah, let me go to
fly
an
back on
island.
the
Take the
seaboat.
trip.
Yeah.
We're going to come back on the
always
seaboat.
So you don't want
Change
it.
the scenery,
Right.
right
Yeah.
quick.
So you don't want the ketamine.
Nah, I ain't gonna do the
And
ketamine.
you don't want the salt water.
No,
You
because
just
I ain't
gonna
trying to wake
floating.
nothing
Yeah,
up.
we
Man,
go
I'm
trip.
good.
All
I
right, I'm
am.
good. We good where we at.
Yeah, we
I'm
out.
good.
Be
I
there
am.
in the back of my mind. I'll be crying.
Oh yeah,
I be
going through the
crying.
motions. Nah, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to have a happy birthday.
Right.
I ain't trying to be sad,
Not
depressed,
a floating
crying
birthday.
birthday.
Not a
No.
floating. We not floating.
We not floating.
Nah. And so, man, this is so good, Doc. But let me switch the tables a little bit, AuJ'ye.
Okay.
Because we just know you was Doc friend down in the lobby. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
very
saying?
close.
Y'all
Very
became
close.
friends, and that's what we
Very
love the
close.
power of networking.
That's what I'm talking about.
But talk to us. I love your shirt, by the way.
Okay.
Talk to us
Wait,
about
yes.
the brand.
Let me shift in my seat.
Yeah, because we got to shift gears a little bit.
Because if I had hair diva, I would flick my hair.
Ooh.
Okay.
But I got my earrings.
Earrings.
Well, flip them
You know,
earrings,
that's
girl.
something.
And
You
get
know?
into
Okay.
We gotta do that. So, what you want to know?
I want to know who is AuJ'ye, because
Because I'm a
it was funny.
okay.
You told Doc you a superstar,
I
and then when
am.
you said your name to him, you say it's AuJ'ye, and it's like,
yeah.
I just want to know how we got there. Like,
Because that's the thing.
when you came up with this
Okay,
name, this
so
brand.
if it don't feel sexy when you say it, then you're saying it wrong. So if you say AuJ'ye, that's not sexy. But if you say AuJ'ye, that's
Oh,
sexy.
oh, yeah, it
See, you
is.
gotta
AuJ'ye.
feel sexy.
AuJ'ye.
Ain't lying.
That's how you know you saying it right. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I am a superstar. You know what, Diva? I just want to be everything. You know,
You everything.
I want to be all over the world and not all over the world. Does that make sense? No, it don't. But I want to do movies. listen.
I gotta say,
like I'm so deep. That was good, right? That was
Elaborate on
deep.
that.
Y'all was supposed to be like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Y'all was like, what? That don't even make sense.
And that thing had to went over my head.
I know your face. You was like, I'm trying.
I had to think
reaching
about that.
forward, like-
Right. I'm thinking.
I was trying to catch it. And it just flew right over
No,
my
that wasn't deep. That wasn't good at all.
Right.
I have a clothing line.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know that. And then I have a podcast that's loading. So
All right.
Okay.
podcast, we should be able to be started. I'm pushing for October. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All
You know I'm gonna have the doc on there. You know I'm gonna have
Yes.
the doc.
Yeah, Doc
Yes.
I don't know. You got to put down
I got-
Doc
okay,
now.
let me
You
reserve
wanna
her
get-
now for
Did
next
you say
year.
the podcast
Yeah,
coming in
now you get it.
October?
Okay,
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year.
She gonna be ready for next year.
We go.
You probably at the top of the year, you probably can get Doc by January. She might have some availability for you,
Man,
baby.
just pencil me in or something. I'm just gonna come. You know, I'm gonna take the podcast to her office.
Oh, and you might win.
I'ma do that.
Now you
That's-
pull up
that's
with the
the
podcast out, you might
Yeah.
win then.
That's what I'm
That's
gonna
the
do.
look.
You know, put it to the office. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got That's How a podcast coming up. Now,
That's awesome.
and my podcast is gonna be, the name of it is Time for AuJ'ye.
Mm.
Because it's
Oh.
time. It's my time.
Okay.
Now, I did tell the good doctor in my personal life, I am also in school. That's true.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm working on my degree. So I'm in
That's what's
school, but the superstar part. Oh, I got a movie coming out, y'all.
Congratulations.
Celebrate, girl. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so the name of the movie is Don't Ever Get Married. Now,
Oh,
Wait,
what is gonna be in?
it's
Have you been married?
no, it's a
Okay.
movie.
I
It's
know.
not my
Well, I'm
movie.
not, so I'm just
You
asking
in
the
the
source
movie.
of this.
Excuse me.
Okay, don't
Doc,
ever get married.
Doc, your moment is over. It's my moment.
Okay.
Your moment. What you not gonna do is what you're doing.
Don't say is you bad?
No,
Let
okay.
me
It's
see.
a movie. Like I'm in the movie.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you
All
I'm
made
the
the movie.
no.
Oh, okay. Now
I'm
I
the
understand.
lead. I would like to say that I'm the lead female cast
Okay.
number.
Yes.
Oh, look, I'm like Doc
Wow.
too. You said movie, it's not your movie.
No,
You're
I'm
Right.
in
starring
it.
in the
See?
movie.
Look, it's I
Starring
was trying
in
to
the
clarify.
movie.
No, you wasn't. Dog. You was trying to steal my moment.
No.
You had the moment. You were stealing it. You were stealing it. Give it back. Give me my moment back.
I
Moment
just wanted to
back.
clarify. Give us some scenes from the movie.
I don't know if I can, but I can say this. I'm not. It's gonna be. It's gonna be cute.
Ooh.
It's gonna be
when
cute.
it's coming
Don't
out?
ever get married.
That's the name of the movie. So I'm thinking it's supposed to be coming out maybe the end of this year. Because I know they're in the editing process. So that was kind of fun. It was this was me like going out of my box
Wow.
to do that.
Wow.
And
How
so
long
your
did
lines.
filming take and stuff like that?
did you fuck her?
That was one of your lines.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
But it was way more convincing.
Well,
That's the
say
first
the
one
way
that
you
came.
said it on.
I was like, did you fuck her? Like that.
okay.
But worse.
like that. I'm so bad. She's like,
What's
like that.
said it in the movie?
That's how I said it. That's from what I remember because I
Like that.
filmed it like a while ago.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's me reaching out. So superstar, right? I want to do everything. That's
Mm.
true. Everything.
Okay.
So I
Ain't
want to get
nothing
into
wrong with
acting.
that.
I want to do my podcast is gonna be the big thing. And
Mhm.
then is which camera is mine?
I
Very
can't.
good.
Okay.
www.aujye.com. AuJ'ye. Okay, y'all buy my stuff. At Shorts
Apparel,
On Fitness
all that.
Stuff. All the
Yeah,
stuff.
all of that.
Follow me.
The
My
brand.
brand.
Right.
Come on. Tell the people.
Please
Follow her.
Please.
AuJ'ye.
AuJ'ye.
Please buy her merch, y'all.
Jesus.
AuJ'ye.com.
Watch the movie.
I mean,
The
you can buy a
brand.
t-shirt. I mean, could I get a
And
t-shirt?
watch the
Right.
movie, and it's time for
And
AuJ'ye podcast coming soon. So
October.
get book now, schedule the appointment
Schedule
right now.
appointment.
Click link
Because
below.
I'm gonna be famous. And
Yeah,
then the people,
superstar.
I'm gonna
I
be
heard it real first.
Claim it.
I'm gonna be more famous than the
I
dog.
love
You're gonna
it.
have to book me 2 years in
Yeah.
advance.
Just hire me as your doctor.
Oh,
I will.
Exactly.
I will.
Yeah, you gonna have to
Right.
keep that mental.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all
Right.
traveling
I'm
all
gonna
over
need
the
all
world.
that. What is
doing
that?
all
The ketamine?
stuff.
You
I'm gonna need the ketamine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring
Bring it to me.
me the ketamine.
Bring it to me. You,
Yeah.
my therapist,
Absolutely.
the IV, all
Absolutely.
that.
I need a double whammy.
Absolutely. I'm trying to tell you. Just make sure you bring Doc with you,
Not
because there's gonna be a
really
lot
much,
going
man.
on.
Doc
Bring them.
coming.
Oh, Doc can't do the mushrooms.
I can't do
so bring
right.
the-
She ain't
What
get
the
no
other one she
mushroom.
say? The IV.
She
Bring
got
the
the
IV thing.
ketamine.
And the
She-
pool
the
thing.
she
Y'all
bring
bring
the
the pool
pool.
thing up there. Where you
The
bring the
pool.
pool
Bring
thing.
the pool.
Bring the
and a Remy
tank. The
sidecar.
And
And a Remy sidecar.
yeah, we were talking about drinks. We were talking about drinks in the Doc she drinks like grown woman stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
So Doc, you not on the spicy margaritas?
No.
No. Oh, you drink.
Doc,
She
look
don't
like,
read
that's
them.
kitty juice.
Oh.
Doc don't read them. I read
Kitty
them.
juice.
Right. She drinks
No.
old fashioned.
Yeah.
She drank grown woman drinks.
Remy Sidecar. That's
See?
one of my favorites.
Oh.
Ooh, Remy
Yeah.
That's
Sidecar.
strong.
See?
And look how she said too.
Strong.
That is
Sidecar.
strong.
Ooh,
no.
Sip it
Oh my
slow.
God.
No.
Sip it slow.
We're drinking.
That's some hair on your chest.
Right.
I just
She
felt
don't
it right now.
read her. We read her.
That's why how she looked at you with that margarita like, no, baby,
No,
that's
no.
kitty.
Right,
juice.
right. No, baby, that's not what I do.
No,
Try
that's
again.
Yeah, I don't
juice.
like all that ice.
Oh,
Those
that's
margaritas got
lemonade.
too much ice.
Yeah, she don't like ice.
She
She
don't like all that.
Well,
Yes, she
Yeah.
will
Oh,
do.
yeah.
no. So,
Oh, yeah.
do they light your liquor? Do they light
That's
it
big
and give
girl
it to
drink.
you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh my God!
Put the
yeah,
large
that
ice
thing.
cube in there. You sip on it,
Wow.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
and
a
you
real
say it like
power.
it's lemonade, but it's not. It's,
It's
like
but it's
really
good.
nice.
It's
Just
really
sip
nice.
slowly.
It's really nice.
it's really not lemonade.
Sip slowly.
Sip slowly, and it's gonna put you on your back.
No, it won't put you on your back. You'll just have a nice drink. It's a
Mm.
Oh,
nice
Remy
drink.
Sidecar. That's what Remy Martin.
Yes.
Oh, that's that brown. Oh,
Get
yeah,
the
she
red.
like that
Yeah.
brown.
That brown make you
That
angry.
That brown-
yeah, it do.
That brown
I
bring it
feel like
out.
that too. It bring it out.
It bring
They
it
say that brown make you want to
That
fight
brown-
like this
That,
too,
that,
dog.
that Hennessy.
I like to deal with white because that brown don't act right.
It don't act
Ooh,
right.
that brown don't act
That
right.
brown-
What?
That
Oh, so the
brown
white
don't
make you
act
fight? I
right.
thought what?
No,
it
the
is?
white have you right.
Why
The
have
white
you right?
have you right.
But
Brown
the
make you want to fight.
brown-
Put you
Yeah.
down.
What? No, it don't.
Brown to shut you down.
Come down. It's a-
It turn me up.
Brown shut you down.
That
be
about shut it down. Shut
riding.
it down. The whole
It's the
thing.
ride.
Party over.
Listen,
Party
that
over.
dog. That
Yeah,
dog
dog,
don't
that's
do
strong
me right.
right there.
That's too strong.
That's strong.
What do you
That
drink,
dog is
Diva?
strong.
A spicy
A
margarita.
spicy margarita.
You drink a spicy
What?
margarita
I
too?
love it.
Yeah.
You love
I can't
it.
believe you don't like the
Oh
Ritas.
my God.
And I put more ice in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it to be
I've
cold,
had
We
cold.
got
margaritas.
upgraded. We used to just do regular margaritas.
Yeah,
Now
the
we like
traditional
spicy
margarita, but
Those
now
spices
it's
are nice.
spicy.
I'll
Those
do
jalapeno
Taco
and
night. I'll do a
Yeah.
margarita taco
Okay.
night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taco night.
Tuesday.
With a shot
Yeah.
of Grand Marnier in it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
do
Now,
that.
that tastes
Okay,
like
now that's the
medicine to
good-
me.
That's
What
the
it do?
good
It
one.
tastes like
No, Grand Marnier is
Grand
good.
Marnier
I like
tastes
Grand
like-
Marnier.
you
I
do
like
like
Grand
Robitussin.
Marnier.
Yeah,
I can do
like
like Grand
It
Marnier.
tastes like
No,
salsa.
it
It
does.
do.
Yeah.
No,
That's a
thank you.
Cadillac margarita right there when you
Yeah.
add some
A-
Grand Marnier.
No,
A
thank you.
Yeah,
Cadillac
Grand Marnier.
margarita.
Yes.
I like how she named her drink a sidecar.
A
A
Remy
Remy
sidecar.
sidecar.
A Cadillac
A
margarita.
Cadillac margarita.
That could
With
be a
a
part of your, that could be a
fireball.
part of your practice. Like if in the lobby, if you have a little bar, like to get it started, and then for the session. I'm just saying.
That her drink. I'll make sure, hey, Doc in the building. I'll send her a Remy car
Fireball.
Then
Top
when
it
they
off with a
crash going
fireball.
home, I'm getting sued.
Oh,
sorry,
no.
dog.
Well, nah, we don't want that
Yeah,
on
nah,
Doc
Not a
then.
good idea.
Never
Nah.
mind. Because we're gonna need,
We don't
no,
need
yeah,
that.
No.
Just
No,
do
no.
that on your own
But that
time,
is,
not
but
on
that's
Doc's
cute
time.
though. You know, a little glass of wine while we talk about
No,
your
why?
problems.
Yeah, because okay, so like when we girls, ladies, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about our problems, we always drinking,
Over
Yeah.
wine.
That is-
yeah.
and it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't stop.
That
Mhm.
is true.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I want to see this
Absolutely
the
true.
AuJ'ye time now. Time for
Oh, we
AuJ'ye.
drinking on time for AuJ'ye. And I'm gonna have the special drink for you, Doc.
Okay.
The what?
The Remy
sidecar.
sidecar.
Remy
And
sidecar.
Cadillac
And
margarita.
all
I'm
right.
And
wrote
the
it down.
spicy margaritas.
I can
for
spicy
us.
margaritas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What is that,
Spicy
Remy
margaritas
sidecar?
for us.
No, she got that dog.
Little kitty. We got that little kitty drink, Nika.
Right. You gotta make your voice sound cute when you say it like that.
Spicy margaritas like a kid. like a how old it is to drink? A 22-year-old.
Thank you. That's kind of cute.
I just started drinking.
I like that. Spicy margarita. The boy, you're so innocent.
I
Like,
love it.
ooh. Yeah, that's lit. Okay. I'm glad I met y'all.
Yes.
Well, actually, I know you. But you want to tell the people how we met?
Look, I was about to say, Power. I think you should. Because you should get ready for your time for AuJ'ye.
I mean, you know.
Let's hear that,
I
that
didn't-
time for AuJ'ye
Right.
voice.
I didn't want to take over your show, but
I mean, this is your. I don't want. Hey, can I take the light back?
I'm
or
about
is
to,
this still your
I
light?
don't know because you see, I'm about to shift in my seat. I'm
You
getting
know-
taller,
Okay.
so I don't know.
No, I think you should. I
Because I
think you
did-
should tell them. how we
Because if
met.
you want,
yeah, I
we
think
met.
you
We
should
met
do it.
in 5 seconds.
We did.
I
5
was literally
seconds.
seriously.
We did.
I was
Literally.
getting some artwork done by the GOAT.
Right.
NBZ.
NB.
Shout out to the GOAT. Everybody know. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you know.
You know.
You really know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They know.
literally Here come my diva. She walk in the door. She open the door. She was like, hey, I'm diva. Gave me a hug. That was it. That's how we met.
That was it.
That
Yeah.
literally was it. I gave her a hug back. I was like, okay, my diva. Right there. And then we hit it off. And it's perfect.
Right.
You're a wonderful person. You're so
That's
sweet.
what's up.
That's why I'm taking you to the ketamine place for your birthday.
Oh, no, man. I ain't trying to
We
go.
gonna ketamine. We gonna ketamine. I just
ketamine.
decided we gonna ketamine. That's what we
Doc,
gonna
you
do.
gonna be there? Because I need somebody to
Doc,
guide
we
me
gonna
through
need
that,
her
Doc.
I can
I don't
be
know
there.
what might
With
get
her Remy
vote, Doc.
side card.
I was about to say with the Remy
With
With the
side
Remy
card.
side card.
Remy, she have a
And-
Remy side card.
Yeah, little Remy
So
little
she
side
could guide
card.
Diva through.
So she could
just in
guide
case
you through.
anything get woke.
Networking. But
That
yeah, that was
part.
it. That's how we met. And so now we're gonna work together. And Diva's gonna help me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Take my superstardom
Yeah.
to where I'm not the only person that knows I'm a superstar.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So the people
Time for AuJ'ye.
It's time for the
Yeah,
people
the
to
time
know.
for
It's
the world to
time
know
for
about
AuJ'ye.
AuJ'ye.
Absolutely.
He
Yeah.
finished with you, and
Right.
Diva finished.
When
the
Diva
world
finished,
is gonna know.
Yeah,
The
we
world.
gonna- yeah.
You're gonna be
I'm
an
ready.
international
Don't make me
brand.
take my
honey.
phone out. Let me stop. We got a
International
podcast
brand.
to record.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready to record.
I'm
Let me
ready.
get- But on a for real though, that's why we hear
Absolutely.
the power of networking.
Yes.
This is where it's taken me so far. And so before you ladies leave tonight, you gotta tell me the importance of networking and how it helps you in business or has helped you in business. So
Okay.
either
she
one.
went-
Who
I
want to
already
go
know you
first?
wanna
Y'all want to
start.
flip a coin? Cause
I was giving preference.
No, Remy side card got something.
Remy side
Remy
card.
side card got something to say. I saw you
Like,
right.
make sure.
Nah, I was waiting to see.
Go ahead. No, you're right. I gave you the spotlight back. You're right. I
Yeah.
did take you.
Oh, she got a spotlight back.
She got it back.
Yeah.
Well, light back
You're
on
right.
Doc.
It's good.
Come on, light your light on, Doc. Go.
The light on.
The light on,
The light on, Doc. Come on.
The light on.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
glad
that
we didn't have
was
no
cool.
wine.
Right.
Would've been
Yeah,
turned
right.
up,
Would've been
boy.
turned.
Okay. It's simple. Networking is about giving back. Networking is, being a mentor to someone who needs a mentor. It's being a mentee. So networking is about contributing to the village. That's how I see it. We help one another.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
I
that's
love
all I
that.
got for y'all.
That was good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
great.
that was
To the point.
excellent.
To the point.
She didn't do too much. She
Yeah.
didn't do too
Mhm.
little.
Nah.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah. Thank you.
And so for you, AuJ'ye, tell us.
Okay, so networking is about, you know what? To me, network is kind of like about friendship and unity. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you never know who you meet until you take the step out to actually introduce yourself, like we did,
Yeah.
or to just take a minute to, I'm gonna say, to humble yourself enough
Mm-hmm.
to say hi. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people, especially Black women, a lot of times we don't speak to each other. We're not friendly to each other, but
Right.
you never know who you're gonna meet. Listen, I was sitting out there. I'll give you real life example.
Yeah, talk about
Talking to the doc about my dissertation. You remember? It was like 10 minutes
I
ago.
do.
Okay. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm just like this.
I don't know
I'm
about
not
it.
saying
And then,
anything.
yes, I know that's true. This is our spotlight. It's our time now.
Mhm.
But on
Right.
something, and I,
Nah, it's both of y'all. The light on both of y'all. then.
and it was just like so quick, a matter of us talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I have somebody to introduce you to." And sometimes
Immediately.
immediately.
Wow.
Sometimes
Yes.
it's really that simple. I'm
It's
sitting
that
here
simple.
talking to MB. You walk in, I meet somebody who can help me. You know,
Yeah.
and networking to me is about stepping outside of that world that we build around
Mhm.
ourselves,
Mhm.
where we the only person that matters,
Mhm.
and acknowledging that somebody else is in the room, because you never know
You never
who
know.
else is in the room with you.
Or who's
That
gonna
was
be
it.
able to help you open up a door to
Open-
get you to
You
your
got
next
it.
Yeah.
destination.
That's so.
Yeah.
Networking is important.
Very.
Very
We all need
important.
someone. You can't
Yes.
get there by
You
yourself.
cannot.
Yeah.
You
No.
cannot.
Cannot.
That was good. That was a good question.
Yeah,
Good closer.
yeah, I love
did
that.
I see what you
Like,
did.
yeah, you see what I did?
Yeah, I see what you did. That was
Yeah,
good.
I met
That's
y'all.
good.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
was
I met
good.
a good
Right.
doc here. Shout out to Super Cindy.
Shout out.
Man, she
Yes,
talked about her.
Super
That's my
Super.
girl, and she always bigs up Doc every time,
Yes.
and it just made me want to meet her and be connected to her. And I'm just so glad she's here with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
We
having
got
me.
the doc on the
you
show.
know, you gotta
finally,
be here, Doc. You gotta be
Yeah.
It
here.
only took
You
one
gotta
year.
be
And
here.
it only took 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Only.
Only 1 year.
Only 1 year.
But she makes us so proud that she's
Mhm.
doing her thing. Shout out to the Brain Love.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about that because you didn't really touch on that, Doc, with the Michael
Yeah.
Blackson. Like you,
Yeah.
I know. Look,
you really got the light
Humbling
low.
herself
She is
You
right
really
now.
got the light turned down
Yeah,
low.
right
She
now.
But let's turn it up because I need everything on my platform, okay?
They need to
So
know
yeah,
all
like
that.
talk about the Michael Blackson thing. Like I think that's really huge.
Yes.
You did your thing at the YMCA theater. You know, like talk about that part. Like
That's dope.
we
Yeah.
talked about the, you know, the mental stuff, but
Mhm.
talk about the fun stuff, how you make it
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
swagged out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brain love is my acronym for living life. So whatever I do, I do it based on what I would like, what I would want. And
Mm.
brain love was an acronym that I created based on my life, basically.
Mm.
So if you want to know what brain love means, you got to listen to the Brain Love podcast.
Hello.
Come on.
Hello.
Where the podcast be at, dog? Where they can
So
check
it's
it
on
out at?
every podcast platform.
Oh.
But I really need more followers on Spotify. I would love to grow my following on Spotify.
Oh,
Okay.
send us
So
that
it's
link. We
the
gotta
Brain Love
blow
Podcast.
we gotta blow up the
Yes.
Yeah,
Spotify for
absolutely.
Doc
Yeah.
Man.
Yes.
And I'll say quickly, you mentioned Michael Blackson. He is a great dude. Like he is so
Mm.
cool. He's humble.
You can tell.
He's
Yeah.
down
I get that from him.
And yeah, I think it's just, the Lord, he orders our footsteps.
Yeah.
And people know good energy when energy is in
Mhm.
is in their vicinity. So
Mm.
when I approached Michael, this was back in 2018, I think, when I met him the first time. I was with my son and we met him. And we've been cool since.
Wow.
I went to Ghana for my birthday a couple of years ago. He had a party for me at his house in Ghana.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. He's
See?
That's
And
Light
he-
all
and
low and stuff. You
that's
at
the
Michael Blackson
networking.
house.
That's the
Right.
networking.
That's the
You know,
networking.
that's the
Very
networking.
Look how that just opened.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So
Look at that.
and he's not the only example. Rick Party. Rick
Mm.
Party was the first person to put me on the radio on Hot
Wow.
105
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I had a health fair at my office in Miami. And I went on Hot 105 with Rick Party, and he kept bringing me back. He's a person who made my name, Dr. Delvena. I used to go by Dr. Delvena Thomas, but he gave me Dr. Delvena.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to rock with
I'm
that.
gonna rock
Dr.
with that. Yeah,
Delvena.
because it's catchy. I like that.
I like
Yeah.
Dr.
that too.
Delvena.
So Rick Party, Super Cindy,
Mhm.
these are people who are not afraid to speak about mental health because we're all human. We are not perfect. Our brains are not perfect. And so all of the stuff that we talked about, all of those things matter. Loving on people, forgiving people, disciplining our kids. I mentioned discipline a lot, and it doesn't have to be physical discipline. Discipline is not giving them everything they want because they
Right.
want it,
Yeah.
making them wait for it.
Right.
And you see a lot of
Earn
that on
it.
social media. Yeah, earn it.
Earn it.
And make them. My mom used to tell me, if I give you this now, what do you have to look forward
That's
to
true.
later?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff that we are allowing our children to do too soon. And so you get bored and then you start doing other stuff like drugs So anyhow, Brain Love is a movement. Brain Love is about how we should live life and just taking care of ourselves and not being ashamed of loving our brains and taking care of our brains. So
I
Love it.
I love that too. Take care
Love
of your
it.
brain.
Take
yeah.
care of your mental.
You
Take
do.
care of
It's
your brain.
everything
You gotta
you
show your
got.
brain some
Your
love.
brain.
If
Show
you
your
can't
brain
take
some
care
Show
of
your
your
brain some
mental, how you
love.
gonna take care of somebody else?
That's right.
You gotta
Yeah.
take
No
care of
good for
yourself.
'em.
Yeah.
So I heard someone say, I don't want to know your credit score. I want to know, what do you do when you get stressed?
Right.
Mm.
How do you talk? How do you communicate? Some people are the worst communicators. They shut down when they're stressed, as
Yeah.
opposed to processing and talking it through with their significant other or with their child.
Mm.
So how we talk and communicate, all those things go back to the brain.
True. Can I add to that?
Please.
But if you don't know, you don't know.
That's
though.
right.
So when you say that, just triggered something when she just said that. But if you don't know how to talk, then what do you do? Because
You listen to my podcast.
You
Okay.
on Spotify.
On Spotify.
And
Okay.
Pandora.
And Pandora.
Okay.
But
All
you
streaming
seek out
platforms.
Stuff like this. I talk about sex and relationships all the time. I had a guest on the other night. The episode is called The Worst Date Ever. And he's anonymous. And he was so great in that episode. I'm like, I'm bringing you back. We just had a very nice conversation about dating, men and women, and sex was in there. A little bit of sex was in there too. It was a great conversation, great interview. So you learn these things by opening up your spaces, listening and reading and watching videos, and not just being on social media, but watching things on YouTube and listening to podcasts. I love podcasts. I love
Podcasts
them.
are good.
Yeah.
But I have one more thing.
Oh, yes.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
But I have one more thing.
I think that, you know what else? A big thing is that we have to be very careful about how we speak to ourselves.
Yes.
Like what you say about yourself, you know what I'm saying? And people say, I'm so dumb, or I'm so this, or I'm so, we self-diagnose, and it's not really that serious.
Right.
Sometimes we make mistakes. So that was just like to add. It was also
like
to
it.
steal a little bit of your spotlight because you did it to me earlier.
That
Just
was
throwing it back. It was a little bit of give back. See, I need to go to therapy. And now we know why I need to go to therapy. Because I'm petty.
Now we know.
You bring
Now
up
we
a
know.
very good point, though. Do you guys know Ingrid B?
Ingrid B.
Why does
Poetry.
Yes.
She does all the poetry stuff in
Mhm.
South Florida. The only one who's been doing poetry for the
Yeah,
most part,
Ingrid.
other than oh my God, he would kill me.
Reagan.
No,
No, Butterfly.
Butterfly. But Ingrid puts on events. And so she posted this thing the other night, and it said, "At night, forgive yourself." And so you made me think about that. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
something people should do. Forgive
At
themselves. At night,
At
forgive
night.
yourself before you go to sleep.
Before you go to sleep, yeah.
Yes, forgive
Wow.
yourself.
That was good. You stole your
Yeah.
moment back.
Yeah.
You took it
We
back.
gotta
You
forgive
stole the moment
ourselves.
back. Yeah, she took it right on
She got
back.
it back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let
We
me
gotta
get that.
forgive
You won.
ourselves.
She
Let
won.
me get
Oh,
that.
and the other name I wanted to say was Quick the Poet. He does a lot of poetry shows as well. So Ingrid B, Quick the Poet. But Ingrid B said she posted this thing in her story, and it said, "Forgive yourself." Actually, in her timeline, forgive yourself every night. You'll sleep better.
That's true.
Because we don't forgive ourselves
Yeah.
enough.
No.
We
Yeah,
don't. That's
that's true.
very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
And it be the smallest things you be beating yourself up about
Yeah.
and going to
Still
sleep
in your
at
sleep, and
night.
I love to sleep. So yeah,
The naps hit
Right.
different when you grown.
Mhm.
Love a good nap.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
You know what? I cannot. Like,
Right.
I think it's time to
does.
go ahead and ask them
does.
this question.
So I have the question of the year.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
The
I think I'm
question
scared
of
of this
the
one.
year is, what is your definition of a pretty hustler?
A pretty hustler. Woo. Okay.
Oh,
Wow. A pretty hustler doesn't stop. She's unrelenting. She does everything with class and style.
Yes.
And in doing so, she loves the other pretty hustlers. She loves the other women in her circle.
Yes.
She is what we
Mm.
said, she is a mentor. She's a mentee. She understands she has to be a mentee to keep hustling and to
Right.
make that hustle effective and work for her. Because, there's no good in being a hustler and nothing changes for you.
Mhm.
So hustling means that you're getting to the next point. You're getting to the next mark.
Right.
And a pretty hustler is someone who loves in everything she does while she's hustling.
Right.
Oh man,
That's
Doc,
good.
that
Love
was
that.
beautiful.
That was amazing.
Is that
Question of the
okay?
year.
Yes. Preston,
Wow, you killed it,
question
Doc.
of the year.
Come on,
What
Isaiah,
is
what
your
you got?
definition of a pretty hustler?
Okay, good. I'm glad y'all asked me because I was scared that you wasn't gonna ask me.
course.
You know what?
I was getting my answer ready.
Of
And I was like,
Oh my
is it my
God.
turn? Like, what we gonna do? Don't just have me sitting up here. But I feel like
You know what?
No,
Okay.
not sitting up
I
there.
feel like
Please
You're
tell
done.
me how you feel.
right. Look, I appreciate that. See, that was nice. Okay, so I feel like AuJ'ye is a pretty hustler, but for real, I think it's a woman or a girl or a sis or whoever that goes for what she wants and still looks good doing it.
Mm.
So she's still cute with it, but not cute like in a prissy way, but like she looks good and you can see it.
Yeah.
Right.
And looking good is not always about looks. Pretty
Mhm.
on the inside,
Mm.
pretty on the
Mm.
outside.
Yes.
I mean, looks help.
Right.
Oh, flips earrings. Flips
Looks
earrings.
Looks help. But yeah, that's what I think. It's like she got it. And
Right.
look at her. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Pretty hustler. Thank you.
Ow.
Love that. Yes.
I like the L.
Yeah, that was real
I
cute.
love
I think those were some both beautiful questions. And before we get out of here, y'all gotta shout out y'all social media, how people could get connected.
Yes.
Because they gonna want to follow this conversation.
Definitely.
This is dope.
Go ahead, Doc.
Okay.
Doc,
You
go
got
first.
it.
Doc, go first. She got a light.
I'm Dr.
Give it
Delvena.
back. I'm giving it back. You got
I am Dr. Delvena, DRDELV as in Victor, ENA. And you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I just got on, is it Twitter? No, what is the thing?
TikTok.
TikTok. Thank you.
TikTok.
I'm old, y'all. So I just got on
What's the
TikTok like
thing?
6 months ago, whatever that is.
Okay.
But just follow me on socials, but really follow the podcast, the Brain Love Podcast. If you want the meat, the potatoes, and all the extra trimmings, if you want to know exactly what's happening in relationships and why, if you want to understand your brain and your mental health and wellness, and you want a real conversation with a real doctor who keeps it real.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Heavy
You
on the
heard
real
that.
because she's a real doctor.
Heavy
Real.
on the
She
real.
did that. It was humble, but it was bold.
Okay.
Because you said the real doctor.
Yeah,
Right.
the real.
The real. The real.
The
You heard it?
We don't have
The
no
real.
fakes around
Ain't no
us.
fakes
Everything
around
No
us.
fraud. We
Yes,
got no
everything
fraud.
real.
Nothing.
And
No frauds.
let me not be misrepresented. Give me 2 seconds to say this.
Okay.
By real, I mean I don't sugarcoat. Because if you want to change is hard. If you want to change, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to change. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit because
Hello.
you're not going to get better if I keep holding your hand. So that I don't do. So that's what I meant by real.
Okay, that's not how I took it. So I'm going to stick with my
Oh,
definition.
you want to stick with your
Because she's a
definition?
real
Okay.
doctor. Because I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. You
Yeah.
know, so good.
You know what,
Proud.
baby?
We work so hard to put her through school and stuff, and I'm taking credit
And
for
bleep
you.
out my profanity, please. Bleep out my shit and stuff like
No, but
that.
that's the part of the real, though.
Be
That's the
quiet.
real.
That's really the real.
Leave it, Robbie.
Leave it
We
right.
love it.
Yes.
Don't edit it, Robbie.
Don't
cut
edit
it.
Leave it.
Leave
Don't
it.
cut it.
Okay, so y'all follow me, AuJ'ye. Right now, I'm on Instagram _AuJye. AuJ'ye. On Instagram, on all of the social media platforms. I don't have a Twitter yet. But I'm wondering, is it worth it?
I don't have a Twitter either.
You
I
can
meant
get
TikTok.
threads.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Threads.
threads
I got
and
kicked off
then
of Twitter.
you got no.
I did. Yeah,
Oh.
I did.
That's
I
nice.
posted
Oh.
a picture of a vagina with a piercing in it.
Yeah, so
And they
They said you done violated their
type of stuff be
community
on Twitter?
guidelines.
Listen.
That's why you got
Somebody-
deleted, girl. You
kicked-
posted the
They said
vagina
you
dog.
showed the tweet.
you showed the pocketbook on
So
the
we
Twitter.
had to
God.
tweet
I
you
was
out.
talking to ladies about having better orgasms. Like some women have never climaxed before.
Oh, you showed
Yeah.
the pocketbook.
But y'all
I
pocketbook.
did.
That
I
You
was
did.
put the
telling
whole
kids. You
private,
showed
like,
the
the-
pocketbook,
I
girl.
did. I thought it was okay. Well, she
Oh,
had
my
a
God.
piercing in it, so
Oh.
it kind of covered up the clitoris. You know,
You put the pocketbook.
I did,
on the
and so I
Twitter.
got kicked off.
And
of
Twitter said bye
Yeah,
bye.
They
bye-bye.
sure
Put
did.
As much
Bye-bye,
porn is on
Dr.
Twitter.
Delvena.
Right.
Yo, that one pocketbook.
They kicked me off.
It's okay.
It was discrimination.
Sorry,
It's
it
okay.
was.
Yeah,
it
that was.
I think that'll
Write
go
a letter
better
to
on
the Twitter
threads.
people.
You can put
What?
that
Right.
on threads,
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
We would have ate that up
I'm
on
getting
threads.
into the threads thing. But I do
Yeah.
have a threads. Yeah, I'm getting into it.
My threads tied. too.
Threads and shorts.
Thread, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shorts is where it's at. Oh, y'all be on the lookout. It's time for AuJ'ye. It really is time for AuJ'ye. The
Okay.
podcast is coming up. And the podcast is coming up for booking info. The email is info@AuJ'ye.com. info@AuJye.
And tell
Remember.
them what they could book you for, because you ain't talk about that.
Oh.
We just said something about the movie. We ain't said what you doing, what the people gonna book for.
I love that diva.
What they gonna book?
When I tell you
they
she-
watch
did
it
you see
online,
she
they
got
like, okay,
together?
if he said book it, they ain't talking about nothing.
Okay.
Said,
So I do
what you gonna book?
hostings.
Wow.
I need to know what I'm booking for. You said the booking info.
What did she say? What did she say?
I
She
don't
do
know. We wait.
hosting.
Hostings. Wait.
Oh, hosting.
What you
You talking
hosting?
I can host events.
Oh.
Okay.
I can
'Cause Doc probably got some
Doc
events
got
coming
some-
up. See,
I still do some modeling, so you can book me for that for the thick girls. I'm a thick model.
Okay.
Curvy. That's what we call.
Okay,
sorry,
fashion
come on,
designer,
yeah.
oh, pleats outside, pleats,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
on somebody,
Yeah,
the
that's
model,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
I could
Okay.
do that. Also, even as a guest on podcasts or a guest at any event or something like that, I do those type of things. That's where I am right now. That was good. You're right. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I host. Okay, but what you host though?
Yeah, they
I
like
see
they
what you
booking.
did.
I might want to get the baby shower.
That's
I'm like,
true. I could do
somebody
any event. You put a microphone in my hand and I'm on it.
You ready?
Because the
Baby.
people
Yeah,
might
you
have
told
a ear
Robbie Joe,
piercing
you
or a
said,
clip
"Hey, put the
piercing
mic
party.
on."
And they want you
They
to
might
host it.
Like, I
They
need
might
the
want you
mic
to
right
host
here.
it.
Wait, Doc, go have a clip piercing.
The clip piercing party, and they want it hosted by AuJ'ye. Yeah, so they need the booking info. So they got the email now. And I think they know why they can book you and why. They got the info. Now. They ready.
Oh yeah, don't forget buy my merchandise.
Oh yeah, and buy the shirt.
www.com
And get the booking and buy the shirt. Too. Make sure you get the shirt. And get the podcast on Spotify. Doc Brainlove. Podcast on Spotify. Get it all.
Spotify, follow.
Don't leave nothing here. Get it all.
Get it off the Spotify.
Get it all.
Remember,
Yes.
if it doesn't feel sexy saying it, AuJ'ye.
You're not saying it right.
Come on. That's why I love you.
Cause she sure said, tell the graphic people the name wrong. It ain't the J supposed to be big. It ain't no small J.
It's not no little J. It's a big J.
No
Get
little
it
J.
right.
Get the big J.
Give me that J. And the
Right.
apostrophe.
Say it's minor.
Everybody loves
Let's make sure a big J
Right.
get on there.
Just
Get
give me
put the big J on there with the
J.
apostrophe, baby.
on.
Please don't forget the
It gotta
apostrophe.
make you think of a what is it called? Jalapeno margarita. What it is? Oh,
Spicy
spicy
A
margarita.
spicy margarita.
Spicy margarita.
Yeah.
You gotta say it like you're 22.
Spicy margarita.
You know what?
I love
would
it.
I'm like, Doc, boy,
I
I'm
would
glad
not
we
serve
had no
to
wine.
y'all.
I just
boy.
wanna
order.
I want to
I would
order
not
that.
serve. If I walk up to y'all at the table and y'all say, I want a spicy margarita.
Spicy
I'm
margarita.
gonna look at these ladies and I'm gonna run.
Oh, that'd be great. I
I'm
can't
gonna
wait.
like,
I'm
no,
going to the
not
bar just to
serving
ask
them
for
no
that.
spicy margarita.
See, look.
Cause then you gonna say I want a Remy sidecar.
No
A Remy
thanks.
I want to try that just cause how it sounds.
You
Remy
should.
sidecar.
It's gonna have you on the
should.
side of the car throwing up.
Oh no, no.
Remy sidecar. Don't be drinking behind Doc. She
Get
she
your
drink
Remy
real
sidecar.
stuff.
I told her
But
that
she said
dog not
Cadillac
right.
margarita. I might
Yeah,
stick to the
wait a minute,
Cadillac
dog,
margarita.
not right.
I don't
Look at
think I'm gonna go to the
just
Remy.
Cadillac it.
The Remy side,
Yeah,
curbside.
No Remy curbside.
Remy curbside or car side.
Curbside is funnier. So we gonna stick
Remy
with it.
curbside. Oh no.
I
Oh,
like
you gonna be
that.
on the curve?
Yeah, but that it's a curbside.
Wow.
Man, look at that. Robbie.
That was good.
I got a shout out to the producer, man, Robbie Joe.
Yes.
We got a shout out to the lovely Drea taking all the behind the scenes pictures, man. Y'all have been locked into one amazing episode of the Power
Yeah,
Network.
this
We
is
gotta
good.
go.
This show
Cause I gotta
going
go
down
take
in
some
history.
pictures with my doc and everything
Yes.
for she get booked. She already booking
better-
now.
yeah.
You got
So let
a
me get
year
off right quick and
to
go
get
get the
in.
picture.
1 year.
Yeah,
A
Power
year
Network, and we out of
Get
here.
in.
I'm gonna go take my pick. Brain love.
Right.
This week business spotlight is IMG Content Studio. If you don't know, now you know. For more information, make sure to hit up the Mrs. Blue House for any information you may need on booking your next session.